is executed one after the other. And it happens a lot that you do not want to have all the statements executed one after the other, but you want to do something like checking if a person is allowed to buy alcohol, for example, or not. And let's imagine two messages. So if we allow the person to buy alcohol, let's say, for example, yes, you are allowed. And if that person is not allowed, we're gonna say you're not allowed. So how can that work? First, let me show you something that can be useful, especially in Postman. You've probably seen it a lot, and I mentioned it in the past, is console.log. This allows you to log to the console something, a message or anything. And in this case, you're gonna say here, this is a message, and this will be logged to the console. And we're gonna use two messages. One, you're allowed to buy alcohol, and the other one, you're not allowed to buy alcohol. But depending on the value of age, we want to display only one of them. So let me show you what I mean. We want to say something like if, and then we have here age greater than 18. I'm gonna open a curly bracket. I'm gonna close the curly bracket with Shift Enter. You can go a line below and do not here to see if age greater than 18, no. And if that's the case, if this Boolean value that's expected here is false, then the code will not execute. So everything that you have inside if will not be executed. And this is a very important concept to understand, because this is how you can do different things depending on the value of usually different variables. It will not make a lot of sense to have hard-coded values here that do not change, but age, you can see I can change it from outside and give it a different value, and then the code will be executed or won't be executed. So going back to this, let's see on how we can display the other message. Because if we just type it a line below, no, you cannot buy. Indeed, in the case that the person is under 18, it'll get a message, no, you cannot buy. Once the person is 20, see what happens. It will get both messages. So the execution starts here. The variable gets initialized, and then the first condition is true. So then the code here is executed, and then it gets out of the if condition and basically returns to the normal execution where each and every instruction is executed, and then it finds console log, no, you cannot buy, and displays that as well. And this is exactly what we're trying to do. We want to first check if a person is over 18 or under 18 and display different messages. And for that, we are going to use else. What we're going to do is to add else, open and close curly brackets, and inside we'll be able to get this code from here and put it here. And now the code reads, if the person is over 18, it can buy alcohol, and if the person is not over 18, it cannot buy alcohol. So if age is 20, it says yes, you can buy. If it's 17, it will only display no, you cannot buy. How about making this even more complex? So what if you want to allow over 18, but if the person is exactly 18, let's say, congratulations, now you can buy. So let's see how we can redefine this. And that's basically another condition that we're asking. And of course, there are multiple ways on how you can do that. One way is to say here inside the if, you can create additional if conditions. So here you can create another if and say if age equals to 18. But of course, this will not get executed here because we are going above 18. But you can create multiple levels of ifs and display different kinds of conditions inside conditions. But generally in programming, it's kind of a bad practice to have a lot of ifs inside of them. They are called nested ifs because it makes the code harder to read. But I just wanted to point that out. So in our case, we are going to use the else if conditional. So we have an if, and then let's say here else if, and this allows us to specify another condition. And in our case, the condition is 18. I'm gonna say here, we're gonna say congratulations, now you can buy. So let's see how this goes. So again, if the person is 17, it will say no, you cannot buy. If the person is exactly 18, it will say congratulations, now you can buy. And if the person is 19, so this will look like this. If age greater than 20 and I will put two ands, two ampersands, city equals, how do you read this? So we define that the age is 19 and the city is New York. And the condition says that age needs to be greater than 20. Let's make it 19. And the city needs to equal Philadelphia. And equals is not with a single, but with a triple sign, triple equal sign. Let's run this. And you will see here there's no output. While the age condition is matched, city equals Philadelphia is not matched. So we can just exemplify by getting this out of here and executing it here. You will see that this expression executed to false. So that's the reason why this conditional isn't working. So both of them need to be true in order for them together to be true. So this is what end is telling. Age greater than 18 must be true and city must be Philadelphia. And when both of them are true, then it will work. Of course, you can add as many ands in your condition as you need. So they don't have to be only two of them. You can say here and anything else needs to be that. The next thing we're gonna have a look at is the logical OR operator. And this operator is basically saying, well, it needs to be either greater than 18 or the city needs to be Philadelphia. And when I'm executing this, the first condition matches, so the age is greater than 18 and the city is Philadelphia. So for that reason, if statement is validated and is executed. Last, you can negate an expression. And for example, if we previously had true, it renders true. But if I type in this will be false. So this will always return the opposite of what we had. So for example, this previously executed as yes, you are allowed, and we can turn this around and we can do this the opposite way. And for example, this condition, well, let's put everything between brackets and we can just say the exact opposite of this, and this will not be executed. I hope that all these conditionals and logical operators didn't drive you crazy, and I'll highly recommend that you try the exercises right after these lectures to get more familiar with them and to get maybe a better understanding on how they work by really using them on your own.